At least 50 Palestinians killed and a dozen were wounded after a new Israeli assault on eastern Khan Yunis. Air attacks and artillery shelling began minutes after the military ordered an evacuation. Palestinian civil defense said the order affected over 400,000 people. Israeli warplanes bombed a home in the University College area south of Gaza City, causing fires. Wafa news agency reported 5 more deaths from Israeli bombings in Tufa and Khan Yunis. The Israeli army declared an evacuation order on Khan Yunis, citing danger. Israel launched an air attack, killing at least 45 people and injuring many more. In other news, Reuters reports fierce battles between Hamas-led fighters and Israeli forces. Hamas fighters used anti-tank rockets and mortar bombs in Rafah and the Netzarim corridor. The Israeli military stated it killed fighters and destroyed ammunition and infrastructure in Tal as-Sultan. The armed wing of Hamas said its fighters targeted 2 vehicles with Yasin 105 rockets in the Tal as-Sultan neighborhood. The group also said on Telegram that it struck advancing Israeli forces in the northeast of the Al-Bureij refugee camp with mortar shells. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, traveling to the U.S., announced Israel would send negotiators to restart stalled captive exchange talks. He faced protests at Ben Gurion Airport before departing for the U.S. President Biden announced his withdrawal from the 2024 presidential race. Netanyahu said Israel would remain the U.S.'s strongest ally in the Middle East, regardless of the election outcome. On the humanitarian front, UNICEF stated 143 Palestinian children were killed and over 440 were injured with live ammunition in the past 9 months. This was a 250% increase from the previous period. 8 professors of epidemiology, hematology, and other health sciences called for a cessation of fighting in Gaza. They cited the detection of polio in sewage samples as a threat to both Israelis and Palestinians. In an opinion piece published by Haaretz, they said polio can be spread by infected individuals who have no symptoms. They warned of the devastating consequences of polio, including paralysis, long-term disability, and death. Javed Abdelmonem, medical team leader for Doctors Without Borders, described a day at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis. He said working in mass casualties around the world failed to prepare him for the horror in Gaza. He recounted trying to revive a boy who wasn't breathing, but the nurse questioned saving him when other lives could be saved. The boy was someone's child. Israel's war on Gaza killed 39,006 people and injured 89,818 at least. On Monday, the Bangladeshi student group leading protests suspended their demonstrations for 48 hours. The group's leader, Nahid Islam, said they didn't want reform at the expense of so much blood. The protests, which began over admission quotas for government jobs, escalated into severe unrest during Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's tenure. A curfew is in place and soldiers are patrolling the city. An internet blackout since Thursday has limited information flow. Islam, speaking from a hospital bed, demanded the government lift the curfew, restore the internet, and stop targeting protesters. The Supreme Court reduced reserved job quotas, but not as much as protesters had hoped. At least 163 people, including several police officers, have died in the violence. 4 people with bullet injuries were brought to Dhaka Medical College Hospital on Monday. Government officials blame the unrest on protesters and opposition groups. Dhaka Metropolitan Police reported over 500 arrests, including opposition leaders. Ali Riaz, a political expert, called the violence the worst massacre since independence. Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus urged international intervention and investigations into the killings. Diplomats questioned the Bangladeshi authorities' response, with the U.S. Ambassador Peter Haas criticizing the one-sided presentation of the situation. Foreign Minister Hassan Mahmood showed a video focused on protest damage but did not address allegations of police violence. In related news, the UAE sentenced 57 Bangladeshi expatriates to prison for protesting, with 3 receiving life sentences. ISPR Director General Lieutenant Jen Ahmed Sharif spoke on Monday. He mentioned a massive illegal political mafia sabotaging the 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐬𝐻 campaign. Sharif clarified the campaign as a comprehensive counterterrorism effort. He said it was not just a military operation.
کہ عزم استحکام ایک ہمہ گیر ایک مربوط کاؤنٹر ٹیررزم کیمپین ہے اینڈ اٹ از ناٹ اے ملٹری آپریشن پر سے جس طرح اس کو پریزنٹ کیا جا رہا ہے. نو اف وی سی جو میں نے پہلے کہا کہ کیسے ایک سنجیدہ بات کو بھی سیاست کی بھین چڑھایا جا رہا ہے, تو عزم استحکام کے اوپر 22 جون کو لاسٹ منتھ نیشنل ایپیکس کمیٹی کا اجلاس ہوتا ہے پرائم منسٹر کی زیر صدارت. اس کے اندر جو چیدہ وفاقی وزراء ہیں, ڈپٹی پرائم منسٹر ہیں, وزیر دفاع ہیں, انفارمیشن منسٹر ہیں, فائنانس, یہ جو اپنا انٹیریئر منسٹرز ہیں, جو کنسرن منسٹرز ہیں, دے آر پریزنٹ. اس کے اندر سارے صوبائی جو چیف منسٹر ہیں موجود ہیں, سارے صوبوں کے جو چیف سیکرٹریز ہیں وہ بھی موجود ہوتے ہیں, جو متعلقہ سروسز چیف سارے موجود ہیں. سروسز چیف آر دیئر, چیف نیول اپنا آرمی چیف آر دیئر, اور اس کے بعد جو کنسرنڈ جتنے سول ہیں اور ملٹری آفیشلز ہیں جو ان معاملات سے انٹیلیجنس ایجنسیز والے ہیں, دے آر دیئر.
He addressed rising propaganda against the armed forces. He also emphasized the campaign's importance. Sharif stressed the campaign's goal to eliminate terrorism and uplift society. He discussed violence at the Bannu rally. The army's response followed standard procedures. Sharif also mentioned digital terrorism. He criticized the lack of action against those spreading false propaganda online.
انٹیلیجنس ایجنسیز اور دیگر قانون نافذ کرنے والے ادارے انجام دے رہے ہیں. آپریشنز کے دوران 31 ہائی ویلیو ٹارگٹس یعنی انتہائی مطلوب دہشت گردوں کی ہلاکت بھی ہوئی ہے. رواں سال 137 آفیسرز اور جوانوں نے ان آپریشنز میں جام شہادت نوش کیا ہے. پوری قوم ان کی جانیں ملک کی امن و سلامتی پر قربان کر دی. جیسا کہ میں نے ابتدا میں کہا تھا کہ بڑھتے ہوئے جھوٹ اور پروپیگنڈے کی وجہ سے یہ ضروری ہے کہ ہم اپنی انٹریکشنز اور آج جیسی پریس کانفرنسز کو زیادہ باقاعدگی سے منعقد کریں تاکہ نہ صرف کسی بھی صورتحال پر موقف کی وضاحت ہو سکے بلکہ جان بوجھ کر پھیلائی گئی افواہوں اور جھوٹ کا بروقت سدباب کیا جا سکے.
Meanwhile, Islamabad police arrested PTI spokesperson Rauf Hassan on Monday. The Interior Ministry accused PTI of spreading anti-state propaganda. They said the raid was part of an investigation into the PTI's digital media wing. Later, Chairman PTI barrister Gohar spoke at a press conference, detailed the raid and Hassan's arrest.
پاکستان تحریک انصاف کے سینٹرل سیکریٹریٹ کو آج 12 بجے سے پہلے ریڈ کیا گیا. اسی دوران پولیس کی بھاری نفری آئی. چاروں طرف سے اس سینٹرل آفس کو گھیر لیا گیا. عورتیں اور مرد پولیس افسران سینٹرل آفس کے اندر آئے. سارے دفاتر کے کیمروں سے تصویریں لی, ویڈیو بنوائی. سب کو کاشن کروایا گیا. پھر رؤف حسن صاحب کو اریسٹ کیا گیا. سینٹرل آفس میں انٹر ہو کر کے کسی بھی پولیٹیکل ورکر کو اور پولیٹیکل پارٹی کے سینٹرل آفس کی جو تقدس ہے وہ پارلیمان کے بعد ہے. ہم اس ریڈ کی, اس کی اریسٹ کی شدید الفاظ میں سخت مذمت کرتے ہیں.
NA opposition leader Umar Ayub criticized the raid, calling it an excuse to target PTI. Ayub claimed the government could not accept the Supreme Court's verdict.
جو ریڈ تھا اس کے حوالے سے میں بات کروں گا. कि एफिडेविट निशाना था, रेड बहाना था। इस वक्त आगाज मैं यहां से करूंगा कि इस फॉर्म 47 गवर्नमेंट और इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसीज, उनको ये चीज बिल्कुल ही हजम नहीं हो रही कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो फैसला अपना सुनाया उस पे रिजर्व सीट्स के हवाले से माइनॉरिटीज का उसमें इंक्लूडेड है कि वो पाकिस्तान तहरीक इंसाफ को क्यों मिले। आए दिन आप कभी नवाज शरीफ की कॉन्फ्रेंस सुनते हैं, कभी मरियम नवाज की, कभी शहबाज शरीफ की, कभी तारड़ की सुनते हैं, और ये बात होती है कि पाकिस्तान तहरीक इंसाफ को क्यों ये सीटें दी जा रही हैं।
On the economic front, bears dominated the trading floor on Monday. Shares at the Pakistan Stock Exchange declined by over 1,500 points due to heightened political tensions. The benchmark KSE 100 index shed 1,370.56 points to stand at 78,748.33 points by noon. It closed at 78,539.18 points, down by 1,578.71 points from the previous close. In legal news, an accountability court extended PTI founder Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi's physical remand for 7 days in a new Toshakhana case. Khan has been imprisoned at the Adiala jail for almost a year upon his conviction in 4 cases. His wife, Bushra Bibi, is also jailed. In sports news, Pakistani students won silver and bronze medals at the 65th International Mathematics Olympiad 2024. The event was held in Bath, United Kingdom. In fashion news, Noor Zarmina was crowned Miss Universe Pakistan 2024. She triumphed over 21 contestants in a competition that concluded last night. She will represent Pakistan at the 73rd Miss Universe pageant in Mexico this November. This contest was organized by Dubai's Yugen Group.